Vivi Adventures in Australia. Course of abrupt flights to Australia by Professor Holtzman and his assistant Rosa was to rescue the animals and birds from the burning areas. Professor Holtzman irrigation drones were used as rescue transport in large forests first in the old continent. The drones brought and loaded everything they could get out of the burning forest to safety of huge ships. Slowly Vivi opened her eyes. It was pitch black around her. She remembered running out of the burning forest with a little bear named Bobo and promising her friend to find his parents. She felt for Bear Bobo in the dark. Bobo, are you here? Asked Vivi. Bobo, she repeated. Vivi didn't hear much from him. Bobo was snoring. Bobo, wake up! Shouted Vivi. What? Where? Please don't hurt me! Bobo replied, startled, half awakened from his sleep. Where am I? Asked Bobo out of the darkness. Where are we? Asked Vivi. Look, there is only water around. Vivi had a small grub in the room she was found in and looked out with one eye. They clearly heard the slashing of the waves, the ground beneath the swings. I think we are on a boat, Bobo, but how do we get out of here? On a boat? Bobo asked incredibly. Let me see. Bobo looked through the small gap and saw calm blue waters in the ocean and in the light blue sky above them. Suddenly something black appeared on the horizon coming towards them. A tail fin cuts the water and heads toward them. Bobo screamed in terror and fell on his back. What is it, Bobo? Vivi asked and quickly looked through the gap in the wall that had become free. She twitched and screamed in terror as well. Help! A hungry shark bit the box that Vivi and Bobo were locked in. Soon many pieces of wood flew into the water. Vivi and Bobo sank in the cold water of the ocean. They desperately tried to reach the surface of the water. The huge shark wriggled wildly and tried to free the rest of the box from its mouth. A large splinter of wood, the broken box, pierced its mouth painfully. At the same time, Vivi and Bobo tried to catch their breath. Vivi felt an unknown force lift her body out of the water and she could finally breathe in. She realized that she's sitting on the back of a dolphin. Not far from her, second dolphin also helped Bobo out of the water. The dolphins swam fast and made huge leaps out of the water. How many times have they been caught by the hungry shark, and as always they tried to escape this time too. The friendly dolphins brought Vivi and Bobo to the beach of an unknown island. One of the dolphins jumped in the air one last time to make sure they were safe and disappeared into the water. The sun shined mercilessly on the long white beach where Vivi and Bobo lay exhausted. In the distance it was green. Unfamiliar plants and huge trees that Vivi and Bobo have never seen lured them into the shade. Bobo, where are we? What kind of place is that? Vivi asked, watching into the distance. Are there others here beside us? the little bear slowly tried to sit up and smelled something in the air. A horrible scream followed from the forest. "What the hell is that?" asked Bobo, startled. The scream was really scary. "Help! Help! 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 Where are we? Where are we?" A white bird with a curved beak hung from one of the palm branches and repeated words he had just heard from Vivi and Bobo. "Birds that speak?" said Vivi questioningly, and looked closer at the white bird. But the horrible cry was not from the bird. It was come from forest, and it sounded like several animals arguing about something. Suddenly, a black creature came out of the bushes and stared at Vivi and Bobo. "Is that the devil?" asked Bobo, startled. "I don't know," Vivi said softly. "Who are you, and what do you want here?" asked the devil curiously. "I'm a mouse, and my name is Vivi, and this is Bobo. He is a bear. We are looking for Bobo's parents." Said the devil, and looked at both of them with his black eyes. "So, mouse and bear, I never eat anything like that. There aren't any of that kind here. But if you should die on this island, then I will taste you," said the devil, and sniffed at them. "Devil, would you help us find Bobo's parents?" Vivi asked. "You mean even more of his sort?" asked the devil, and looked appetizingly at Bobo. Bobo would not rest from his spot and was sweating. "He is a bear," Vivi said to the devil. "He doesn't taste good at all." "We will see about that," said the devil, beating the air with his sharp teeth, trying to snatch a bee that was circling around his snout. "Bzzz!" hummed the bee and circled over Bob's head. "That's it!" shouted Vivi enthusiastically. "The bee, she definitely knows where your parents, Bobo, are." "Why should she know that?" asked the devil. "Does she likes to eat bears too?" "No. In our countries, bees make honey, and bears love to eat it," Vivi replied, "and where there is honey, we will definitely meet bears." They followed the bee into the dense forest until they decided to rest under a large tree. Vivi sat down on the grass and was about to check on the bee when a fantastic image appeared in front of her eyes. Thousands of butterflies dressed in beautiful colors dancing over their heads. Bobo, Vivi, and the devil stared in amazement. The sight was overwhelming. The bee disappeared into the dancing mass of butterflies, but no one cared because they were all staring at the sky with their mouth open, enchanted. For a moment, everyone lost track of time until Vivi saw an unknown being on the tree above her. Professor Holtzman and Rose were busy controlling computers and watching their robots and drones. Their ship was hovering above the ocean. "Rose, how much time do we have until we reach Australia?" the professor asked. 6 hours and 15 minutes left, Professor," replied his young assistant. "Good." Professor Holtzman answered and wrote down what was serious about his computer. The little rolling robot brought him a little message that lit up to his chest. Danger, danger, cyclone wind force 256 km northwest of Nico in Western Australia. The robot spoke aloud with its electrical voice. Contact with a rescue ship has been cut off, he reported further. Professor Holtzman looked sternly at the robot and said loudly, "Another problem." He thought aloud. "Rose, how many drones are on the mothership?" he asked his assistant. 30, Professor, Rosa answered quickly. "Send 3 of the fastest to scout the situation. Where the heck are all the ships in the ocean?" "Roger that, Professor," said Rosa, hurrying to type the commands on her keyboard. Soon a door of the mothership deck opened and 3 very fast drones zoomed through a Nico in Western Australia. The professor and Rosa followed their flight on the monitor. The 3 drones opened their cameras and beamed in the images directly to the mothership. Now Rosa and Professor Holtzman stared intently at the monitor. After a long hour of waiting, something appeared on the screen that moved both of them greatly. Many boxes floated in the water surface. Some of them were totally broken and only individual wood parts are swirling over the valves. Some of the boxes had the head of various animals sticking out of them, howling and terrified, screaming for help. Every living creature tried to gasp for air, but the valves were huge and pounded of them relentlessly. Any of boxes could be pulled under the water at any moment. The cyclone was long gone, but the valves in the ocean were still very big. Professor Holtzman put his glasses on his nose and said, "Rosa, send all drones to the emergency. We want to save as much of the animals as possible." He wiped the sweat from his forehead and began to quickly type the commands on the keyboard with Rosa. The 30 drones buzzed with their propellers like a swarm of mosquitoes, firing for their lives about the floating boxes in the screaming animals. The drones dropped ropes, which with a hook spruced the boxes out of the water and flew into the mothership. The ship slowly landed on the beach of the Australian coast. A door opened and the flight of stairs rolled under the floor. Rosa and Professor Holtzman got out, and many unknown animals species appeared before their eyes. Many people gathered around and exhumed the injured animals and tried to help. Sitting on a branch, the unknown creature slowly ate an eucalyptus leaf. Vivi's presence didn't seem to bother him. "Hey, who are you?" asked Vivi. "It's a koala bear," replied the devil. "A what?" asked Bobo. "It's a koala bear. Quite tough. Not the best meat, but if there's nothing else, I can also destroy it," the devil replied, looking at the koala with shining eyes. "It's not a bear," said Bobo, and looked at the strange creature. "Bears are big and have very dark minds. They eat honey," added Bobo. "No bears, no bear," repeated the pirate, swinging on a branch. He followed the group, more interesting to learn more words of the strange language. An unexpected noise from the bushes startled everyone. Now, everyone saw how something jumped out of the bushes. A second animal that looked very different from the koala bear. It moved on two long, very strongly built legs, which it made long leaps. The animal had much shorter arms and a punch on the stomach, with a baby's head sticking out. Startled, everyone jumped aside when the creature appeared in front of them. "Damn kangaroo!" yelled the devil, dissatisfied. When he jumped, he fell on a small echidna and his butt was badly injured. "You stupid echidna!" screamed the devil in pain and pulled the long thorn out of his bottom and looked at the small round creature angrily. "Where are you in such hurry?" he roared loudly at the kangaroo. Sorry, repeated the breathless kangaroo. "We're all in a hurry, aren't we? Aren't we in a hurry?" The kangaroo eyes were filled with fear. "In a hurry?" asked Bobo Bear, who was holding on a branch from a tree as he jumped and amazed the kangaroo. Now everyone staring at Bobo Bear in horror. A huge snake head looked down from the crown of the tree. "What are you afraid of?" asked Bobo, not seeing the danger over his head. Bobo realized the snake and landed on the grass, everyone still staring at him in horror. "Why are you all looking at me like that?" asked Bobo in amazement, and at the same moment a head of the snake appeared in front of his face with dangerous "Sssss." She opened her mouth and two long teeth looked away. A great shadow appeared from the top of the tree, and all the animals heard the beating of the mighty wings of a great half-brown goshawk, which dragged the snake into the sky and disappeared. Bobo and all his friends looked in heaven for a long time, horrified. "Snake! Snake!" the pirate finally yelled, breaking the silence. "Wow, you are lucky," said Mama Kangaroo and jumped through Bobo Bear. Her little baby kangaroo looks interested at Bobo from the pouch. "Why are you in such hurry? Are you being followed?" Bobo asked and slowly strengthened his body. "Didn't you hear the roars of the Tasmanian tiger?" asked the mother out of breath, looking around anxiously. "It must be very close to the beach," she added. "Tasmanian tiger?" Vivi asked. "Is that a monster?" "Yes, it should be a monster. It comes out of the forest only when he's hungry. That's what my grandmother told me. Save yourself if you can," Mama Kangaroo called on all the animals and continued her long jumps and soon disappeared into the forest. "Can the Tasmanian tiger fly?" asked the koala bear from the tree. "There must be something going on the beach. I see a lot of sand in the air." "No, a tiger cannot fly," replied the echidna. "They look like a big cats." "No, what if the tiger caught my parents?" Bobo imagined. "Maybe he already ate them," and he started to cry bitterly. "Don't cry, my friend. I promise you to find your parents," said Vivi. "Let's not waste time and go to the beach." "Yes, let's do that," said the devil. "There are definitely leftovers to eat." His eyes sparkled greedily. "I'm coming to help," said the koala bear, moving from the tree to the ground. "After all, you're a bear, and bears help each other in need." "I'm sure you could use my help too." The Echidna spread its thorns dangerously. And so all the animals made their way to the beach, and the wise Cockatoo followed them from the air. You hear the story Vivi and the Forest Dweller Part 2, Adventure in Australia, read by Barbara Siersputowski. We invite all small children to listen the end of the story in Part 3.